I burned out so hard that I couldn't write anything for 5 years. But now I'm starting a new book. Let me tell you how I healed from my burnout. Hi, I'm Izzy Shows. I'm the author of the Codex Blair series, the Ruled by Blood Quartet, and the Space Mage series. In one calendar year, I wrote 17 books across over 1 million words, and it nearly killed me. I was pushing myself too hard. I was writing every day, working like 12-hour days, and not giving myself permission to take any breaks at all. I didn't take any days off. I took working lunches. I didn't relax at all for the entire year, and it really did a number on me. It was too much. I couldn't handle all of that work. When I did burn out at the end of the year, the start of the next year, I wasn't patient with myself. I didn't recognize that I was going through something serious and that I needed to take time to step back and give myself space to heal. I thought this was just a phase, that I just needed to push through this and soldier on and pull my big girl pants up and keep going. I think we all know that burnout is a lot more serious than that, and it's not that easy to get over. If you recognize burnout early, you might be able to catch it in a matter of weeks or months. But for me, because I pushed myself so hard for so long, it lasted for years. And I still wasn't patient with myself throughout those years. I kept pushing. I kept sitting down at the computer and trying to force myself to write, and yet I was getting nowhere. I was making no progress. It was the definition of insanity. I kept doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result and getting the same thing every single time. A couple of months ago, about 4.5 years since the burnout started, I decided that something needed to change. I needed to change. I couldn't keep doing what I was doing, and if I wanted to get out of this, I was going to have to try something new. So I didn't craft a plan of attack, and rather decided that I was just going to take some time for me. That's the first thing I did. I gave myself permission to not create anything. No books, no plotting, nothing. I wasn't allowed to work on anything. It was mandatory that I find things to do that I enjoyed that didn't produce anything profitable. Someone's banging upstairs. I started reading again. As it turned out, all of that pressure and pushing myself to try and write meant that I wasn't getting the chance to take in art, to enjoy it for what it was. And so when I gave myself that space to relax, I was able to read a lot of books, and that made me really happy. I've been an avid reader my entire life. My mom used to read me bedtime stories, and I would beg her to read specific books. And I actually got in trouble in school all the time for reading during class. Being a reader is a huge part of my identity, and losing that was really hard. So I'm glad I have it back. I also journaled a little bit here and there. It wasn't anything consistent. I felt like journaling every day was a little bit too much of a task, and I didn't want to set tasks for myself. I wanted to just relax. It was nice to write in my journal occasionally, though, and get some of my thoughts out on paper. It really helped me process a lot of what I was going through. So that's my first tip, is relax, give yourself permission to just exist, and try to process some of what you're feeling. The second thing that I did was incredibly important. I prioritized my health. I started eating healthier, making smoothies out of Greek yogurt and fruit and V8 juice in the mornings. I started cooking more, which was really nice because I got to spend time in the kitchen with my fiance. It's kind of like an evening date for us now. We put on some music and cook our favorite foods and just kind of dance around and hug each other and have fun. It's great. But it has the added benefit of not making me feel sluggish all the time, which fast food does. It also meant that I wasn't dealing with an extreme amount of guilt. Because I don't know about you, but eating fast food makes me feel guilty. I just feel like I've done a bad thing and I should have known better, and why wasn't I trying harder to eat healthy? This was a really important thing for me to address. My depression had a deep and lasting impact on my health. It meant that I gained a lot of weight, and we all know how that affects our self-esteem. When I prioritized cooking and eating healthy, I also needed to start moving around more. So I started with just going for a walk in the park every now and then, and now I'm up to going to the gym 3 to 5 days a week, and I've started lifting, which is really exciting. I also made some appointments with my doctors to try and get some data on what I was going through and see if there was anything actionable that we could change. I'm not going to share the details of that because that's rather personal, but I would highly recommend that if you're struggling with burnout, that you definitely go see your doctor, go see a therapist, get help, because you can't do everything on your own. The third thing that I focused on to heal from my burnout was I explored new hobbies after I had managed to relax and recuperate a little bit. I started drawing. It started with just a few Skillshare classes to get to know how to do certain things, how to use Procreate, all that kind of stuff. And now I'm currently taking a portrait drawing class online, and it's going pretty well. I'm really excited. Hopefully I'll get to a point where I can draw my own characters. It would be so cool to make my own concept art. I also started teaching myself game development. I am in school for that, but I wasn't really doing anything outside of school. Like, I wasn't working on my own projects, and so not a lot of it was sinking in. It very much felt like I was going through the motions, but I decided, hey, I need to get serious about this. This is something I enjoy. Why am I not putting more effort into this? And it turned out to be a lot of fun to work on a side project. I started building a very simple RPG. You know, nothing crazy, nothing open world, just pretty basic, skill tree, that kind of thing. Point and click movement. I think the game development was definitely useful in my healing process, because while it was still a creative task, it wasn't the same as writing or even drawing. It required a lot of coding, and as it turns out, I really enjoy coding. But coding is much more analytical, it's much more logical, and engaging that part of my brain really helped me shift my focus and let my creative side heal a little bit, relax a little bit, not take front stage, that kind of thing. Now it is the last week before NaNoWriMo, Camp NaNoWriMo, and I am almost done with my outline. I am planning on starting Camp NaNoWriMo on the 1st. I set a goal for myself for just 50,000 words. I didn't want to overcomplicate it with a custom goal. I'm hoping that the book will be more in the 90,000 word territory, but we'll see how it goes. For me, 90,000 words averages out to about 60 chapters, and the pacing so far in the outline is lining up with being 60 chapters, so I'm probably right about that. I'm really excited to get started on a writing project again. I feel like it's been an eternity since I really got to enjoy writing and building characters and building a world and all of that fun stuff. It's been great diving back into it, and I haven't had to deal with the panic attacks that I was really struggling with for several years now. That's great. That's huge progress for me. I hope it can be motivating for you, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that burnout is not forever, even if it is for a very long time. So those are the three main ways that I dealt with my burnout and worked to heal myself. Have you struggled with burnout? Let me know in the comments how you battled or are battling your burnout and what worked for you. If you liked this video, please give a like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. And if you'd like updates on my publishing schedule, you can join my newsletter. The link is in the description. Have a great day. Keep chasing your dreams. Bye.